All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tarot, Unicorn, and Coffee's New Moon in Pisces celebration event. I am your host, Valerie Lewis, also with co-host Robin Poole. And this event is set up to help you get more information and more aligned with the moon and its energies so that you can manifest along with the moon and bring and pull those energies that are present in the skies into your life, using them, working with them to bring more beauty, more fullness, more energies into your life so that you can attune and align with the energies that are present. So the way this event works is we kind of hand it off. I'm very new to astrology. I'm very much in love with the moon. And so I give the presentation mostly centered around the moon. What's the moon doing, and what's the moon, where is the moon placed in the sky? And then astrologer Robin Poole will give us a more in-depth look at what the moon and other astrological placements and things and happenings going on up in the sky that might be affecting us during this next moon phase of the new moon. I just want to point out we do these events before the actual new moon, so the new moon is not until March 2nd. March 2nd. I was about to say first. Why was I going to say first? The new moon doesn't happen until March 2nd, which gives you enough time to look up any information that you find is exciting or relevant that you want to learn more about. It also gives you a chance to gather any items that you might want to gather if you choose to participate in a new moon ceremony or new moon ritual that we suggest. So we like to have them a few days before the actual moon phase. So with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to go over. I'm going to reiterate the bingo game once we get into it, but I'm going to turn it over to Robin. Robin's going to get us all grounded and settled in for this new moon ceremony celebration. Go ahead, Robin.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I still have this image of this stuffed unicorn that my psyche conjured up. I know. When you started talking about prizes, I was thinking it would be a little stuffed unicorn like this, but maybe that unicorn is waiting for me. Maybe I'll go to some thrift store and find my psychic stuffed unicorn connection. Okay, so I'm going to invite everybody for a little grounding and centering. If you would like to join me, you can close your eyes or keep them open as you prefer, and just put your feet on the floor and your hands in your lap, or if there's some meaningful or sacred posture you'd like to assume, you can. Just invite you to take a couple of nice deep breaths. And let's ground ourselves or center ourselves into this present space. You can envision a basket at your feet and place anything you're thinking about, any worries or concerns that you might have to pick up later in the day. Maybe you'll need those for whatever's happening to you later. But for the moment, let's just set aside anything else that might be on our minds or hearts so we can fully be present here and attuned to the moon's energies and whatever our higher self or divine connection has for us. And if you'd like, you can ground or center yourself in whatever way feels comfortable for you. You can feel your energy stretching down through your feet into the earth, letting any toxins or tension drift away into the earth for its alchemical process to transmute that into something positive and beautiful. Or you can let your energy ride out into the ethers, up into the sky to connect with the stars, or out into any trees or rocks or rivers or plants in your neighborhood. You can center yourself in your heart and give yourself some love for existing today and getting up and feeding yourself and making time to tune in to whatever's going on with you and think about whatever your higher self or what spirit has for your next steps. And I'm going to set an intention, which I'd like to invite you to join me in, or you're welcome to set your own intention. My intention is that every person will come away from this gathering renewed, refreshed, and with one or maybe two or three sort of like next steps. What's the next step for my enjoyment of my life on this planet? Feeling like I belong here, knowing how to create an experience that I feel good about and that is beneficial to myself and others. And I'd like us all to be in tune with whatever that connection is with us, if that's our higher selves or our inner child or a future self or divine connection or spirit or ancestors who help guide us. Whatever that is, that we'll reach out and say, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to listen. I'm not going to take away anybody else's energy that's not for my highest benefit. I'm going to say the things that are on my heart to say and get the support that I need and ask the questions I want to ask and have fun playing along with Valerie's bingo. And then when I leave, I won't have any connections or cords or anything that isn't for my highest good as I go about the rest of my day. And I just want to thank Spirit and our higher selves and our inner child and our ancestors and any other positive energies that are here to help guide us on this planet and create a positive life. Thank you for your participation. And if there's any negative energy that's kicking around, I want to remind us all that we are fully empowered to kick that baby out. There's no need to stay or deal with negative energies that are not for our highest good. And we're all empowered to say this is not what we want to experience and to draw in the positive energies that we do want to experience. Pisces is a lot about our energetic connection. So we're going to be talking about taking care of that and keeping ourselves in a good energetic space a lot today. And thank you to all of you who've come and taken your time to enjoy the Pisces moon and Valerie's game and our presentations. And we'll just take 1 or 2 more deep breaths and just settle into the safe and positive energy of this space. And set your own intention. If there's anything you want to ask yourself or spirit for in the next hour and a half or 2 hours. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and we'll come back. And Valerie will give us our guidelines, our precious Tarot Unicorns and Coffee guidelines.
Our guidelines. First of all, love and light always. Guideline number 1. So we hold ourselves in love and light, and we hold everyone else who've come together in this gathering in love and light, respect for all. Second guideline, don't start no shit, won't be no shit. Behave as an adult-ish. Behave as adults. We know how to act. Please don't be disruptive. Okay.
Can I point out that if the bingo game had started, we could all cross off the Valerie says a
right? But no,
but
it hasn't started.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure I get the rules right.
Okay, this is the last time I'm going to post this because I know that when I post something in chat, it only shows up if you've already joined. And I know there were some people that joined after I posted it the last time. So one more time, you get to play bingo. There's the boards. You get to pull them up on your computer screen or download and print them. You only get to play one board at a time. So one board, pick one board. There's 4 available, pick one. This is not church bingo where you get to spread them all out in front of you. You just get one board. And the game starts now. So you can begin crossing off. Everyone gets to cross off that free space. And we will get into our presentation for this wonderful new moon in Pisces. Let me get my screen share pulled up here. One moment. Not that screen. I've got too many screens, y'all. Not that one, it's that one. Okay. Thank you for your patience as I work with technology. Okay, there we go. Hopefully everyone can see that. Let me get the present up. Can everyone see the new moon in Pisces? Yes. A Tarot Unicorns and Coffee event. Awesome. Let me get the little faces out of the way. So, new moon in Pisces. Why do we even want to worry about the moon and what's going on? The most impactful thing that we can do with these moon energies is to manifest with them. We often hear people talking about manifesting with moon energies. So I want to speak a little bit to that. Lunar rhythms are embedded in the life cycles of every organism on the planet. The moon impacts the time, the tides, and light. And for many animals, the moon is also essential for migration and navigation. We know this. Just as the moon experiences different energetic phases each month, it's also believed that we too feel the effects of those shifts, whether we're consciously aware of them or not. And it's also said that we feel those effects because we are mostly comprised of water, and we know that the moon affects the water on our planet. Therefore, the moon, we would make sense, also affects us in the way that it phases and shifts throughout the month. We would phase and shift with it as well. No way. So the moon experiences periods of rest, growth, abundance, and contraction. So when we sync up with the moon cycles, we sync up with the natural order of things. Nature is one of our oldest and wisest teachers. When we learn to live in sync with our natural universe, we can harness the power of the energies and the wisdom that it provides to help us create the reality that best suits us as individuals. One moment, please. Did I leave? I did leave chat open for everyone. I got someone that said they have bingo already. I don't see how that's possible. Okay, JP, call the words off. Which board are you playing? Oh, let me let you unmute. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Board 3, Pisces, New Moon, across the top. Pisces, New Moon, planets, water, and energy.
Oh, yep. You know why? Because I ad-libbed. I wasn't going to say water on this screen, but I ad-libbed. Yep. Okay. JP won. Take a pause. Here's what you won. I can't see myself on screen, so let me see if you won my new Tarot, Unicorns, and Coffee journal. It's blank inside, so it's just for you to journal in. I'll get in touch with you to mail it to you. All right. Well, that was fast. Okay, you guys. I have another.
I'm gonna stay.
Okay, I have another journal, so let's keep playing. Let's see who the second person to get bingo is. Okay, so moving on, that's manifesting along with the moon, and why we would even want to use the moon and its energies to manifest with. Nope. There we go. So, as I mentioned at the top of this, the new moon actually doesn't happen until Wednesday, March 2nd. So these next few days leading up to the new moon are the waning crescent period, and it would be best spent taking time to rest, relax, and rejuvenate. Self-care and self-love should play a prominent role during this time over the next few days. So let yourself relax as you prepare for the upcoming cycle of intention setting. So let's talk about this new moon. The new moon is the beginning of a new lunar cycle, and it gives us a chance to sync up with our powerful moon and use its energy to help us manifest our wishes. So manifesting has many phases, the first of which is asking for what we want, also known as intention setting. So we could just work with the moon by itself to set our intentions. But wait, there's more, like an infomercial. Supercharging the moon's energy. So each month, the moon cycles through all 12 of the zodiac signs. It also comes in contact with the other planets and placements during its monthly transit. By taking notice of which zodiac sign the moon is in and any other planets that might affect our moon, we can also call in and harness these additional energies. So it's like supercharging our moon's manifesting power. So the new moon in Pisces. On March 2nd, our new moon will align with the Pisces constellation in our night sky using a tropical astrology chart. It's different if you use the other chart. So take a look at how let's take a look at how Piscean energies can aid us in our manifestation goals. So Pisces is the last of the zodiac signs, and it's a mutable water sign. See, I wasn't supposed to say water till then, JP. I do want to mention real quick, because I don't think it's in any of my other signs, but with Pisces slides, with Pisces being the last of the zodiac sign, once we get through this phase and we start with the next zodiac, which is Aries, which is the first of the zodiac sign, we once again have a chance to reset. So if you remember from the last moon phase we talked about, so we have our new year on January 1st. We had the lunar new year, which was earlier this month. And now with this Pisces rounding out the end of our years, we have a chance for a zodiacal new year. I hope I said that word right, when we go into Aries. So this is your chance with this new moon in Pisces to kind of wrap everything up and end everything for your zodiacal year. So the traditional ruling planet of Pisces is Jupiter, the abundant lucky planet. And the modern ruling planet is Neptune, which is the mystical psychic planet. Pisces also governs the 12th house, which is the house of the unconscious, or what lies beyond our physical plane. I think we got another one. Yes, we do. We have another bingo. Okay, I'm going to stop in just a minute. So we have Pisces, Neptune, and Jupiter energies present. Not only are Jupiter and Neptune the Pisces ruling planets, but this March, we have both planets transiting through the sign of Pisces, which is their home sign. So this new moon gives us an excellent opportunity to really use all of these energies to their fullest. This new moon will help us connect with our deepest dreams and desires and connect with what's beyond the veil. This new moon is about trusting our dreams and realizing that we can achieve them. The universe doesn't allow for dreams that are unattainable. So if you are dreaming of it, you can manifest it. Or that old cliche, if you believe it, you can achieve it. It's that kind of thing. If it's in your conscious, believe that that is divinely gifted to you, whether that came as a dream, a wish, a want, a vision. It was divinely gifted to you, and the divine does not give you things that are without attainability, that are outside of your reach. So if it's ever come across your mind that, oh, I would like that, or I would like to experience that, it's absolutely attainable. And this month, this moon's new moon in Pisces with all of the Jupiter, Neptune energy gives you an excellent chance to reach for and attain those goals by pulling in these energies. Not just in little ways. Remember, we have abundant Jupiter on your side, so dream big. So what can you do to work with these energies? Some adjectives that are describing both all of the new moon, Pisces, Neptune, and what did I say? Jupiter. Describing all of those energies are adjectives: calm, creativity, dreams, and expansion. So working with these energies, don't play small. Set big intentions. That's going to pull in that Jupiter energy. Meditate, y'all. I know y'all don't like hearing that. I know y'all go to every spiritual meeting ever and they tell you to meditate, but meditate using these energies specifically, because it's going to make your meditations even more powerful and allow you to get even deeper in those meditations. So use meditation. So different ways that you can use meditation. You can use meditation to decide on your intentions. You can use meditation to call in those helpful energies. You can also use meditation once you've called them in and set your intentions to stay positively focused forward focused using the Piscean and the Neptunian energies. And finally, get creative. As you work with these energies this month, we have the Neptunian energy of creativity. I think that's Neptune, not Jupiter. So use that to get creative. If you can make your goals and your dreams fun, you will achieve them so much faster. That's just the way the human psyche works. So get creative. Find a way to make setting your intentions this month and working with these energies fun, especially when you go about setting any rituals or trying to set rituals up. And we will present some rituals that you might want to work with a little bit later. So the last thing I want to say about this new moon in Pisces, if I can get the slide to go the right way, is that March 2022 is the only full month in this year where we have no planets in retrograde. So use this month to really set intentions that will move you forward, as we're not going to be focused on the past. We're not going to have any energies calling us to look at the past. So use these in this month, this new moon, set your intentions that will help move you forward towards your goals. And I just found the coolest little pictures of all of these retrograde things. Some of y'all are too young to probably even know what some of these are, but I just thought they were really cool. But no planets in retrograde. So really use March to ask yourself, where do you want to be focusing forward and moving forward? And that's what I have for you as far as my presentation on the new moon in Pisces. And we have one more winner that messaged me, Alexandra. Would you like to call off what you got?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
So I think it was the second board, and on the top, new moon, Pisces, planets, coffee, and energy.
Cool. All right. She got the second board, all across the top too. So Alexandra, do you read tarot?
Yeah.
Awesome. Because what I have for you is a tarot journal. So it gives you spaces to record the cards that you pulled for the day and a little space at the bottom to journal in. So I will reach out to you and get that to you as well. And now I'm going to turn it over to Robin for her portion of the presentation.
Great, thank you. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask so far before I dive into my portion of things? No, okay. I will mention that we are experiencing a lovely winter storm here in Seaside. And so if my internet goes off, just wait 30 seconds. I'll be right back. And then somebody can interrupt me and let me know that you lost me for a tiny moment, and I will backtrack. And also, if you have questions, I have a few like audience participation moments in my thing. So feel free to type stuff in the chat. I can't see you, but Valerie will monitor the chat. And then when I stop for questions, she'll be happy to answer them. I really like audience interaction and feedback. So if you have a question in your mind, it's pretty likely that somebody else also has this question. I will also mention that I am a Pisces rising, and that means Pisces was on the eastern horizon when I was born. And the ancients believed that at the moment of your birth, your spirit flew from the direction of the rising sun and entered your body. And so your rising sign has a big part to play in who you are, but most people don't know their rising signs. So if you want help figuring out your rising sign, I'll give you my email and I'll help you figure that out. You do need to know your birth time to get your rising sign. But yeah, I have a lot of Pisces energy, and that was a huge revelation to me. It's like, oh, no wonder I was talking to the trees when I was 5. That makes sense now. Okay, so let me share my screen. Oops, that's Valerie's gorgeous bingo card, beautiful bingo cards. And pull this up. Okay, if somebody cannot see my screen, if you guys can't see my screen, somebody should send something to me. And if not, I'll just keep going. Okay, so we got a Pisces new moon on March 2nd, and I entitled this, Live Out Your Abundant Connection, kind of putting the keywords together. Tropically, this is in Pisces. Now, most Western astrology is tropical astrology, which aligns the zodiac with the seasons. And that works well because as humans, we're very affected by the seasons. And 2,000 years ago, when Western astrology was written down, the zodiac really did align with the seasons. But due to a wobble in the Earth's orbit, we lose about 1 degree every 72 years. And now 2,000 years later, the actual stars in the sky have slipped backwards by 24 degrees. So tropically, we're in Pisces. So we have a lot of Pisces energy coming to us from the seasons and the way we interact with the world. But sidereally, that means the actual location of the stars. If you went out on March 2nd and looked into the sky, you would see the moon against the background of the constellation Aquarius. And most astrologers only use tropical astrology or sidereal astrology. Vedic astrology from the Indian subcontinent is sidereal astrology. I'm the only astrologer I know who uses both. And what I do is I think about tropical astrology as our inner world, because that affects how we feel on this planet. But the sidereal placement often can give you some idea of what the real world effects of your actions are going to be. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And my example today of real world Pisces energy was these barnacles that I saw. We live near an estuary, and I took a walk at super low tide. And suddenly there were all these barnacles revealed by the low tide that I'd never seen before. And I was looking at these barnacles because I know they're like, barnacles are underwater creatures. And I was like, how are they surviving this tide? And I did some research, and I discovered you can tell the difference between a live barnacle and a dead barnacle, because the dead ones, if you can see where my cursor is on the right side of this little picture, they have these holes at the top. And that's because the barnacle on the inside is not alive to close the doors when the water goes away. And the live barnacles, you can see right next to them down here, how they have a little barrier across the opening of their exoskeleton. And what they're doing is creating like a little happy, energetic bubble for themselves, which in their case involves maintaining seawater because they're underwater creatures. So they literally have the ability to create their own environment, which allows them to survive this dry period until the tide comes back up. And I was like, man, that's what I need. That's what we need. Pisces is all about your energetic connection, connecting to the energies that are life-giving for you. So just keep in mind, today's presentation really is about learning to create that environment for yourself, to figure out what your positive energetic environment is, and to create that even if your circumstances are leaving you a little bit high and dry at the moment. And if you have more questions about the tropical sidereal thing, you can research that, or you're welcome to contact me and ask more about it. I actually had gone for a walk, and I was like, Spirit, I need a lesson. I need something to talk about to help me understand this. And then I saw the barnacles, and I was like, thank you, hooking me up. All right, so this is the chart. This is the tropical chart of our new moon here. You can see we've got the moon and the sun. The sun is this thing that kind of looks like a donut. They're at 12 degrees Pisces. And if we subtract our 24 degrees, then we can see that sidereally in the sky, actually they're at 18 degrees Aquarius. So my first question for you guys, and there's a little audience participation moment coming up, is what energy do you want to connect with? If you think about what's going on in your life or where you are growing, what's that first thing that comes to your mind? Is it peace or calm or excitement or fun? Or maybe it's ambition, or maybe you need courage because you've got a big life transition coming up. And I just want to invite you to stake your claim to this energy by saying it out loud or putting it in the chat. It's the first word that occurs to you. What do you want to connect with? And my first thing that occurred to me when I asked myself this question is joy. I want more joy in my life. So I wrote that down and I said, I want to connect with greater joy. So just take a moment, type it in the chat, or say it out loud. I want to connect with fill in the blank. And then the next question I want you to ask yourself is, what's holding me back? Am I scared? For me, I'm afraid of disappointment a lot. I've been disappointed about some recent things, and I'm like, I don't want to try and get my hopes up. Is it old voices from the past, or is it fear that you won't be accepted? And if you'd like to be brave, you can stick that in the chat as well. We're just telling Spirit and our higher selves, this is the obstacle I need to overcome. This is what I want help with to make the progress I'm making. And obviously for the presentation, we're going to be talking more about how you can use these Pisces energies to do that. So we can see that we've got a tropical Pisces and a sidereal Aquarius placement here. And if we blow these up, we can see a little bit more detail about them and how these energies are affecting us. So every sign of the zodiac is 30 degrees wide, and they're divided into 3 10-degree sections called decans. DEC it's DEC because it's 10 degrees. And each of them is associated with another sign in the same element. So Pisces is a water sign. And you can see here that the tropical placement at 12 degrees is in this decan ruled by the moon, which means that that's a Cancer decan. And it's in the term of Jupiter. The terms are divisions of the signs that date back like 3,000 years. So it tells us more about this moon's energy. It's not just a Pisces moon. It's a Pisces moon with Cancer overtones, which means it has to do with nurturing emotions. And it also has some Jupiter overtones, not just because Jupiter rules Pisces, but because of all of the degrees in Pisces, this moon happens to be in the 4 degrees that are ruled by Jupiter. There's a lot of Jupiter in these placements. And if we look on the right here, we can see that our sidereal placement, which is at 18 degrees, is in the decan ruled by Mercury, which means it's associated with Gemini, which is about information and communication. And I'll be darned, it's also in Jupiter, the Jupiter term. So this is great news because we've come through some Mars and Saturn terms, which typically denotes struggle and obstacles and difficulty. And having so much Jupiter means that the universe is ready to turn us out into like the happy pasture. We've come through a lot of obstacles in the past few months, and these next couple of weeks are really a time to connect with the good results, the product of your hard work, that feeling of abundance and joy. So in my next slide, I'm going to give you my take on how these energies are going to affect us. But does anybody have any questions so far on what I've said? Anything in the chat, Valerie, I need to respond to?
No, I'm not seeing anything in the chat, and I do want to just mention, it looks like the settings for this meeting are only allowing you to chat privately with Robin or myself. I do apologize for that. I'm not sure what went wrong with that setting, but feel free to send us a message if you need to.
Okay. I'll just let you guys know that I won't get any messages from you until after I stop the presentation and stop sharing my screen. But at that point, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you send to me. If you want to ask me a question while I'm presenting, you actually paradoxically have to send the message to Valerie. So she'll be able to see it and tell me about it. Okay. All right, so in our inner world here, then this is our Jupiter, Cancer, and Pisces connection. The thing to do for the next couple of weeks, here's the 30-second download, nurture your abundance through connecting with your higher self and spirit. It's really a time to figure out what makes you feel connected to those presences in your life that help you make progress, that help you figure out where you're going to go forward. Spend time, as Valerie said, on self-care, on being nice to yourself, on not doing things out of duty, and figuring out what you really want. Go inside, go for a walk, ask spirit for signs, however that works for you. How can I deepen this connection so that I'm not just stuck in the same old rut, but that I actually can nurture this abundance inside of me? And then, because we have a Jupiter conjunction, our outer results, and this is heading into that Aquarius energy, is to share what you've learned with your progress tribe. So we're talking about inner connection on the Pisces side. And then the trick is to manifest that into outer connection. And when I say your progress tribe, Aquarius is all about making progress and growing and learning and moving society forward. So we probably have people who maybe are members of our tribe that we didn't choose necessarily, like family members who you love, but they're not on the same wavelength. And you know, it's up to you how much you want to share about your connection with them. But everybody needs that tribe that helps you make progress, that supports you in your goals. And I want you to just take a moment and think, what's the first thing that occurs to you about who that might be? It might be a spouse, might be a friend, maybe it's people in your spiritual community, maybe it's us, and you're welcome to send Valerie or me messages, and we'll be happy to share with people. But somebody, who is it that once I deepen my connection on the inside with spirit and higher self, I can then take that outside? And I have to tell you that just by putting these pictures of myself up here, I am taking what feels to me like a risk, because part of me feels like I'm too old for this and it's inappropriate to show this much skin. But I really want to have you guys as my support and trust you in our connection, and know that we're here to support you if you want to share things with us as well. So on the inside, nurture your abundance through your connection with your higher self and spirit. And on the outside, once you've figured out where you're headed, what you want to do, decide who you can share that with going forward. That's really going to help you stay accountable, stay encouraged, be positive. As Valerie was saying, manifest what you want to manifest in this world. Okay. Now, I created some little horoscopes. This is mostly by your sun sign, but you can also figure out which one of these applies to you by your moon sign and by your rising sign if you know. So this has to do with where in your chart, your solar chart, this Pisces energy is hitting you. So if you have an Aries sun or moon or rising, this is time to focus on your inner world. Connect inside to heal personal pain and intuit concrete life changes. So go inside yourself, work on healing anything that needs to be healed, and then figure out what you want to do in your outside world that's going to make your inside world happier. If you have a Taurus sun, tribe ho, it is time to find the group that supports your abundance and bolsters who you want to be. So look outside of yourself to find those people, not just one-on-one people, but an actual group of people. And if you don't have one, you can ask Spirit to help you find one who can support your abundance. If you're a Gemini, it's time to highlight your career or your social contribution that supports your best energy and your joyful inner self. It's easy for us to contribute to others in ways that we think is going to help them. But how can you contribute to others in a way that helps them and also you and helps you be joyful? If you're in Cancer, if you have a Cancer sun, this Pisces energy is hitting you in your travel exploration house. So get out of the house, travel, explore, or learn in a group to strengthen your fun connections. So find a meetup group like ours, or take a class, or go to a new part of your city that you haven't been to and ask what connection you can learn from in this new place. If you have a Leo sun, it is time to let go of what is not helping you thrive. So release to thrive. Let go of energy sinks so that you can make your highest social contribution. Just get rid of whatever's holding you back and move forward. I am a Virgo sun, so it's people-tastic time. Dive into one-on-one healing energy to expand your knowledge base. So ask yourself, who can I connect with online or in person who could really help me learn something new and heal whatever's inside of me that needs to heal? If you've got a Libra sun, it's time to rework your routine. Your daily house is highlighted by this energy. So create daily habits to nurture your best energies and enhance healing and growth. If you've got a Scorpio sun, fan your creative flame. Have fun by connecting with a hobby or a romance that lights you up. Now, Scorpios are not always known as the most romantic souls, but you actually might find somebody who really helps you have a lot of fun and positive energy in the next couple of weeks. It's not necessarily a romantic partner, but just somebody who lights up that part inside of you. Sagittarius, this is homebody time for you guys. Home to the rescue, or maybe you will find something at home that needs to be rescued. So turn your exploring eye onto where you live and your family, could be your blood family or chosen family, to renew and strengthen your relationship bonds. I know Sagittarius love to look outward, but it's time to look at the people and the environment that's closest to you for the next couple of weeks. If you are a Capricorn sun, communication is calling. Talk about what really makes you feel connected to joy and creativity. So don't get into the COVID hermit situation, even if it's just journaling to spirit, but hopefully you could actually find a living human being. But the main thing is to talk about your truth. That's the important thing at this time. If you've got Aquarius sun, the material world needs you. Enjoy nature or material possessions to find your personal flow. So this is a great time for like a closet clean out, or rearranging your refrigerator, or deciding you're gonna try making that exotic ethnic food that you've never made, but you always have loved. Do something with like your home and possessions and in the material world. And then Pisces, if you got a Pisces sun, this moon energy is obviously hitting you right in your identity. So where is the essential you? Get rid of everything else that isn't you and think about what's really important to me. Energize your cosmic connection and love your evolving communication. Pisces don't always feel like they're the best at putting things into words, but it's time to learn that your communication style, even if it's metaphorical or amorphous or you talk around the subject, is really a real gift for you and for the people that you communicate to. All right, so that's my sun sign horoscope for the Pisces moon. Valerie, are there any questions I should answer here?
I am not seeing any questions, no.
Okay, all right. So this is the last analysis I did, which is an elemental analysis of this moon. And basically what I do here is I figure out what elements, air, earth, fire, or water, has a large number of planets in it, and then figure out how that's affecting us. So if you're something who's very driven by elements, this is meaningful to you. And then I've got the 4 quadrants. So what we have here is a lot of planets in Earth elements. We've got 4 in Earth in Capricorn, plus we've got Uranus over here in Taurus, which is another Earth sign. And then we have quite a lot going on here in the water signs. And I'm going to get into this more once we look at the ritual, but we've got Neptune and Jupiter, as Valerie said, plus of course our sun and moon in our water signs. So that means that we are in the quadrant of water and earth, which I labeled practical feeling. This is where we figure out how we feel, what energy is going on inside of us, what we long for. And then we use that's the water part. And then we use the earth part to actually make that reality. So here's the question to ask yourself. What real world experiences does your deeper connection create? It's kind of a complicated question a little bit, but it's like, when I connect with my true energy, with what I really long for, with what I'm really feeling, how then does that translate into not just dreaming, but actually creating something? What am I creating that fulfills my deeper energetic and emotional connection? So you can just write that question down for future meditation, but this is a time to move beyond just feeling what's inside of us to actually bringing that out into the real world, which hopefully then will give you the opportunity to encourage more of those positive feelings, more of that positive energy. That's what you're looking for. So that's what the little barnacle is doing when it closes its doors and traps the sea bubble, the bubble of seawater, even when the tide goes out. So that's the question, is what can you do to trap your own bubble of seawater and create the life that you really want to experience? Okay, all right, that's what I've got for my analysis of our current energies. Anybody asking or saying anything I should know about while we have the slide up?
Not yet, no.
Okay. You guys are feeling very dreamy today, it sounds like. Very flowy.
Very calm, yes.
Okay, all right, back to you, Valerie.
All right, we are making record time today. I like these smaller groups. Okay, so we're going to move into rituals for how you can personally pull these energies in and work with them on a more personal level. So for my ritual, before I present it, I would like to ask for a volunteer / victim. And this volunteer needs to feel comfortable with sharing their intention. It can be very broad intention, openly. Any volunteers? Anyone? I see Shaq reaching. Is it S-H-A-K, Shaq?
I'll volunteer if no one wants to. Michelle.
Who is it? Misha?
Michelle?
Michelle. Michelle, there you are. Okay, I see you on camera. Okay. I also got Allison in the chat, which I'm just now seeing. So Allison, hang
But
on.
whomever else is first, I'm fine with that.
We'll go with you, Michelle. So if you would, this can be broad if you don't want to get too personal.
Can you repeat what you were saying? It went out a little bit.
Yes, if you can share. So before I get into the ritual, I'm just asking her to share what her intention is going for this new moon. What intention are you planning on setting for this new moon? And it can be broad in general if you don't want to get personal.
I want to have experience my full energy.
Experience what energy?
The full capacity of my full capacity, my full energy capacity, if that's something, if that makes sense.
That does make sense. And that's very in line with these energies. Experience.
Thank you.
Full energy. Okay. All right, Michelle, I got you down. Now let's screen share and everyone can work along with this. So have an intention, what you want to set your intention for. Just know that you don't have to be stuck with this. Just have an intention in mind to work through this exercise. You can change it later. But Michelle, I got you for this one. Let me share my screen and move it to present. So mine is pretty simple. I'm going to do a lot of talking, but the ritual itself is pretty simple. New moon in Pisces. What we're going to work on is sigils. So we're going to create sigils. Now, a sigil, for those of you who are not familiar, is going to help us use the creative energies of Neptune as we create the sigil that we can use throughout the month to help us manifest. That's that moon energy. Our biggest and most abundant, that's that Jupiter energy, dreams. So we're going to use a creative way to help us manifest. So a sigil is in its most simplest of forms, is a symbol. It's a symbol usually written down or drawn on a piece of paper. Now I'm going to stray away, because I'm Valerie and because that's how I do. I'm going to stray away from the traditional ways of creating a sigil, but I am going to talk about it just a little bit in case you want to go with the more traditional way. The basic idea is that the language of the deep mind, our unconscious, is symbolic, responds to symbols a lot more than it responds to written words or sounds. So sigils basically speak to our unconscious mind. Sigil work is traditionally about surrendering and releasing the intention. Once you set that sigil in place, it's about releasing it and turning it over to the universe and letting the universe do all the heavy lifting and do the work on bringing what we've asked for into our perception so that we can perceive it. I have to be very careful with our words because the universe is not just out here creating new shit for us to pick up. It's always available. The only question is, do we see it? So working with sigils allows the sigil, the symbol, to speak to our unconscious mind, to put us in a more receptive mode so that we can see what's already available for us, what's already been created for us to participate in and pull into our lives, into our version of reality as we create it. So traditionally, the way that sigils work is you're supposed to write down your intention. I believe you crossed out all the vowels and you find some conglomerate way of shifting the letters in your intention around so that they form a type of a symbol that's unrecognizable to your human eyes. The way I like to work with sigils is a little bit different. I like to sit with the intention. I like to sit and receive messages from spirit. And then I just create a symbol that only means something to me. I also work with light language. So a lot of times you'll see my sigils will include light language, but it's just one symbol on a piece of paper. And that symbol, for instance, in Michelle's case, she wants to experience the full energy of capacity. So I would sit with that idea, and I'm about to do that now for you as you sit with yours, and create a symbol on a piece of paper that is downloaded or sent to me from the divine that represents the full energy or the full capacity of all of these energies for her. So if you have an intention, whatever your intention is, you would want to sit with that idea, sit in meditation. Did I mention y'all need to meditate? I think I mentioned that once or twice. You can sit in meditation and ask to receive that symbol in symbolic form. Maybe as you close your eyes, you see it in your mind's eyes, and then you open your eyes and you jot it down. However you work with it, the idea is that once you have it on a piece of paper, the traditional idea is to forget what that symbol means. Some people even burn those symbols in a ritual to release it, to kind of send it to the universe so that the universe works with it. Like I said, I don't do shit the traditional way. So I write that symbol down, and because it's symbolic and because it speaks to me on a symbolic level, and it's not like I'm reading something on a piece of paper, I sit that out and I just let it do its magic as I walk past it throughout the day. I sit it somewhere where I can see it. Not so much that it's not like an affirmation where I'm walking past and I'm reading the affirmation every day. It's a little bit deeper where it's speaking to my unconscious mind because it's just a symbol that I'm looking at, and hopefully it's bringing joy and bringing energy into my life. So with that being said, I'm going to give everybody just a quick amount of time to see if you can write your own sigil out based on your intention. And again, does not have to look anything representative of the words or the energy of the intention. It's just whatever comes to you naturally. It can look like a scribble on a piece of paper. It can be something more symbolic if you want it to be, but it doesn't have to be. I see Robin working already because Robin's worked with sigils before. So I'm interested to see what she comes up with. Michelle, the reason why I asked you is because I'm going to create a sigil for you as an example. So if you feel like working along, fine. If not, give me a couple of minutes and I'll show you what a sigil looks like created for Michelle. And then Michelle, I'll mail it out to you if you would like to have it. So let's work for just a moment creating these sigils. Okay. We've got some very creative people. Y'all are still going. I like it. I like it. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and show Michelle what I created for you. So see, it has nothing to do with anything. You couldn't read that if you tried, but it has energetic meaning. I work with light language and I've worked with creating sigils before. So this has energetic meaning. I am also going to sit with this and put some more energy, do some energy work with this before I send it out to you. If you would like me to send it to you, I just need you to private message me your address and I will send this in the mail as I send out everyone else's gifts. And then you would just sit it out and let it do its magic and release it. The idea is to turn it over to the universe. You're not focusing on words or repeating an affirmation. You're just sitting it in your presence, allowing that energy to do its work and turning it over to the universe and letting the universe bring this new, whatever you're asking for, into your perception, into your energy field. So that's what I have as far as working with rituals, is creating a sigil that's going to tap into the creative energy and also work with intentions. So that's what I have. I'm going to turn it over. Well, I'm going to check messages real quick. One moment. Okay. I'm going to turn it over to Robin. Does anybody have any questions about sigils before we move on? Nope. All right. Robin, take it away.
Great. I'm going to share what I created for myself, which is this. If you guys can see my screen, not this thing over here. That was my TikTok. That was my.
I love it.
My board. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna color this in a little bit. And my pencils are downstairs, but later I'm gonna color this in. And what do you think about the idea of sticking this on my refrigerator door?
Yes, I love it.
Like maybe
I like yours. Yours is super cool, Robin. Yeah, I usually add colors to mine too. So yours might change a little bit before you get it in the mail, Michelle.
Yeah, I like putting things on the refrigerator door because then I ask the universe that every time I open the fridge door to put the energy of the mechanical energy of the refrigerator door opening out to achieving my goal, whatever that is. So, and I want to let you know that I'm seeing the messages you guys are sending me, but for some reason I can only respond to the last person who sent me a message. But I honor and I will send positive energy to all of you who are sending messages to me.
It's in your Zoom settings. When you go into your Zoom settings for video and chat, it says you clicked on the respond to the last message. So you want to click that.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Michelle. I will work on that. Okay. All right. So, okay. So let's talk about my side of ritualness, which is a little bit different from what Valerie has going on because we like to present variety to you guys. Okay, back. Okay, so I did a little sweet spot analysis here, which is something I do with clients pretty often when we're trying to figure out what energy they are currently in and then what energy they want to move into. And in this one I did, my two axes are abundance. So I've got low abundance and high abundance, and connection, low connection and high connection. Now, you might, just kind of open to what these words abundance and connection mean for you. What I kind of thought was that abundance is that sense that life has beautiful things to give us, and that if we just go out there, we'll be able to enjoy them. And connection for me is not just like powering through to do what I think needs to be done, or try to satisfy my mother's expectations, or do what my boss wants, but rather that ability to connect with what I really want and what really is life-giving for me. So I labeled the low abundance, low connection zone as scrimping your blessings. And I end up in this spot a lot, actually, because of some prior trauma that I'm working through, where I'm like, there aren't very many blessings, so I can't really spend them freely because the life is not very abundant, and I'm also hiding from everybody, so I'm afraid to actually like share my blessings. So that's the first zone, is scrimping your blessings. You might find yourself in a zone where you are in low abundance, but you're in high connection. And I call that careful connecting. It's like you're not sure that the universe is really full of good messages. And I'm talking about that honest inner part of you, right? We all want to think the universe is a beautiful place and spirit loves us. But if you examine your actions, you may be like, actually, I'm not really sure I'm super confident in that. So if you're in low abundance and high connection, you might be feeling like, well, there aren't that many blessings, so I can only share them with people who are really safe. I can only connect with that parts of myself that are there, and I can connect with the right people, but I don't have that much to give because I don't have very much energy, or I'm not very smart, or I always fail, or whatever that is. Spirit doesn't really love me. There's a high abundance and low connection zone, which I call spreading yourself thin. And this is a zone people end up in when they have a lot of abundance, and they have a lot to give, and they're happy to give. But because they're not internally connected, they tend to give to everybody, or they give to people who don't give back. Now, sometimes we have to give to people who don't give back, but if you always give to people who don't give back, you just end up, with nothing left yourself. Or maybe that they're giving in a way that isn't really healthy for them. Like you're trying, like for me, I'm a small person, I'm not very physically strong. If I tried to become a volunteer firefighter and rescue people from burning buildings, that's a way to give, but it doesn't really fit with my strengths. And it's like me trying to take on a job I'm not really well suited for. So if you feel spread thin, it may be that you're not really connecting with the right people to give, or you're not giving in the way that really feels right for you. So if any of you guys have found yourself in any of these zones, scrimping your blessings, only connecting with people when it's careful and safe, or connecting with everybody, but feeling spread thin and exhausted, feel free to send me a message and let me know, 1, 2, or 3, which zone do you find yourself in? And then while you're doing that, I'm going to say, this is what I think the sweet spot zone is. The high connection, high abundance zone. I call that the transformation zone. Zone 4 is really sharing your riches. So you feel like you have plenty of riches. You're in a high abundance zone. You feel like life gives you a lot and you have plenty to give to yourself and others. And you're also not scared to connect with the people who are really right for you, because you're connected. You know who those people are. You know how to give in a way that actually bolsters your energy rather than feeling like exhausted or drained at the end of your giving. So this is kind of where I feel like we can all just take a moment and ask spirit or higher selves, divine connection, please guide us into the zone where we have a high sense of abundance, but we're also really connected, so we know the right way to share with others. And we're able to identify the right people for us to share with, because we don't want to be giving our riches to people who then, turn and criticize us for that, or drain our personal energy. So that's kind of where I feel like we're headed with this ritual. And if we talk about the astrology, there's actually some really cool astrology stuff that's going on. So the first thing that's happening, we can see we've got our moon and sun, our new moon up here at 12 degrees Pisces. We've got a sextile with Uranus, and that's these blue lines that are heading down to this symbol. This looks kind of like a double radar dish. That's the planet Uranus, which is in Taurus. And I got to tell you, it's been interacting with the moon for months now. Every moon has had something with Uranus and Taurus for a while. And I feel like spirit is really just giving us energy to change. But because we're in Taurus here, Uranus is a planet of change, but because it's in Taurus, you really want to connect with the change that creates greater comfort and security. So that's a question to ask yourself. What kind of changes would help me feel more comfortable, secure in this life? We also have a Mercury-Saturn conjunction right now in Aquarius. This is not closely related to the moon, but it is very powerful. And it's actually very close to the sidereal degrees of the moon here. So this is a great time to ask your inner self what you need to release. Saturn is so good for releasing. And I think part of the reason why so many things are falling by the wayside is that Saturn in Aquarius is all about releasing to make progress. So spend some time in the next few days journaling, meditating, going for a walk, asking for a dream, talking to a trusted friend or a family member or advisor. What is it that I need to let go of in order to create progress? And then this is super cool. I don't know if you guys can see on my screen. We've got 3 planets here plus an asteroid, and the degrees are 27, 27, 27, and 26, which means that in the sky, these are all right on top of the same degree. And we got Mars, Venus, Pluto, and then the asteroid Vesta, which is this little V-shaped thing, which is all about keeping your inner flame going. These are all together in Capricorn, and they will be even more. They're close right now, but they're going to be even closer when we get to the date of the moon on March 2nd. And this is an incredible time in the sky where the energies are helping us reconcile opposites to fan our inner flame. So if there's anything in your life where part of your brain is saying this is an either or situation, like you can either have a respectable job and make a living, or you can have fun, but you can't have both. You can either have a good relationship with your partner or your family, or you can be yourself, but you can't have both. You know, you can either eat healthy food or you can enjoy what you eat, but you can't have both. This is a time to ask spirit and your higher self, help me overcome that limitation. Help me find a way to reconcile opposites. Pluto's a planet about the power of transformation. How can I find a way to bring these impossibles together in a way that really fans my inner flame? So that's what today's ritual is going to be about. We're going to be using all of these astrology energies. Any questions, Valerie, before I move on to the ritual itself?
No, I'm not seeing any questions.
Okay. So I entitled this ritual Clothed in Connection. And actually this goes with a little offer I'm going to be making to you guys at the end of this ritual portion. So the first thing to do is to harness the Mars, Venus, Pluto, Vesta conjunction, and ask, what connected energy are you going to work on? This is where we're setting our intention. Ask yourself, what feelings fan your inner flame? Do you want to feel fierce? Do you want to feel compassionate, gentle, nurturing, sexy, magnetic, relaxed, peaceful, powerful? Those are just examples. Obviously, you can pick whatever feelings it is that you want. So step 1 is to choose the energy that you want to feel connected with, and feel free to choose something that seems impossible to you, because that's what this conjunction is all about. All right, so once you've done that, you're going to pick an outfit. That's right, we're bringing in our clothing. So it could be a top and bottom. You need at least a top and bottom, or a dress, I suppose. And it could be accessories. It could be favorite jewelry. You could put on your special shoes. Feel free, by the way, to put on clothes that feel like a stretch for you, or they're inappropriate, or you're like, well, I would never wear this out of the house. You really want to push yourself into what creates that energy. If you want to feel peaceful, maybe you're putting on your favorite fuzzy pajamas. If you want to feel fierce and sexy, maybe you're putting on that lingerie that you bought, but you haven't actually brought out. You know, if you want to feel nurturing, maybe you're putting on a super fuzzy sweater and your most comfortable pair of, old jeans. What can you wear that brings this energy out? And I'm doing this in part because I think a lot of us got used to putting on clothes that brought out our best energies, and then the pandemic hit. And now we all just sit around in the house in our pajamas. That happened to me, where I really took a hit. Also, I moved to a cold climate and I just wore like sweaters and hats all winter. So it's time to put something on your body that brings out this energy. And if you don't want to do a whole outfit, you could just put on that piece of jewelry, or do your makeup, or do your hair, whatever works for you. Okay, step 3 is to take a photo of you wearing this, or have somebody take that photo, and place it as the wallpaper on your phone or tablet or other device, or print it out and put it on your refrigerator door, but put it someplace where you see it regularly. And we're going to harness that Mercury Saturn energy and ask, what do I need to let go of to embrace this new energy that I'm trying to bring in? Maybe it's a habit. I've got to let go of the habit of just putting my hair in a messy bun every day. Or maybe it's a thought process. I've got to let go of the idea that it's not safe to be attractive. I have some childhood sexual abuse, and that's big for me. It's not safe to be attractive because, you know, people out there might be attracted to you. Or maybe it's like, well, it's not practical to wear fancy clothes. I'm just at home. Nobody can see me. Who am I even dressing up for anyway? Or maybe it's bigger. Maybe I need to release, you need to release your like sense that your dreams can't come true because life is hard and people suck, you know, whatever that is. What is it that you already let go of? And then once you've got this clothing together and you've put on this outfit and you've taken your picture and you put it up, ask spirit, your higher self, your divine connection, your ancestors to help you channel this energy. So spend some time wearing this outfit or the jewelry or having done your makeup, or, you know, be symbolic and go to the coffee shop if it's safe where you are with your mask, or sit in meditation or take a walk or journal. What could I do this week to make this energy a greater reality for myself? Because a lot of times, especially with Pisces, we can get caught up in this sort of internal world and the sense of dreams and flowing and connection, but it doesn't actually it doesn't change what we do on the outside. And because we have so many earth planets and earth signs at this point, I think it's really important to actually make some concrete changes. So I'll show you what I did. I picked this outfit here, which is an outfit from a photo shoot. And I am 49 years old, and there's a big part of me that says I should not be wearing a sequined shirt that says the princess soon to be queen. No, it's Her Royal Highness, the princess soon to be queen. That's what this shirt says. Also, you can't see it in this photo, but the shirt is actually see-through. So I have to wear like a bra underneath it. And then there's part of me that's like, that's not appropriate for somebody your age. You know, that's for like teeny boppers. That's for young things who are supposed to be out doing that. But this is a good example of what I am trying to release. You know, I'm trying to release that old conditioning that says, this is not appropriate for you. It's not safe for you to feel sexy and powerful. So I put this on my phone, my wallpaper for my phone. And then what I plan to do is on the new moon, I'm going to do some journaling and think, what is really holding me back from embracing my personal power and my energies that come in? And how am I going to release that? And I'll put my contact information down here at the bottom. It's my email, robin@poolmx.com. My website is spiritsaid.com. And I'm on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn at Spirit Said Coaching. So if you guys have any thoughts about what you would want to embody, or if you would like help figuring out what your rising sign is, my rising sign is Pisces, as I say, and this is a very Pisces outfit because it's blue and it's flowy and it's floaty. It has a lot of Pisces qualities to it. Does anybody have any questions that they want to ask before I say my next thing?
Yes.
Go ahead.
All of the little subscript signs.
Yeah.
Would you explain those? I really just don't know them.
Yeah, sure.
I know it's kind of basic. I should probably know them, but
no, not at all. No, not at all. I mean, it took me, when I first became an astrologer, I spent a good month memorizing all the signs and the twists and everything. I have like all of the study materials.
Venus, Mars, and the other one, and then
right. So this was basically for me, so that when I was going through the parts of the ritual, I would remember to, like, you know, say astrologically what they corresponded to. So there's no need for you to understand this to get the ritual, but I will go through them. So this one at the top here, this is Mars, is the male symbol. Venus is the female symbol. Pluto, this little thing with the two V's is the asteroid Vesta, about your inner flame, and they're in the sign of Capricorn. So that's where that comes from. That was the first step. The second step, this one down here, is Uranus, which has the two kind of half circles on either side. And Uranus is in Taurus, which is the bull. This is the face of the bull with the bull's horns. Then in the red, at the edge here. Mercury looks like Venus, but it has the little horns on top, which I think of as like little antennae because Mercury rules communication. So it's like Mercury has little antennae beaming signals and receiving signals from the universe. Saturn is this thing that looks like an H. And then this sort of V's here, this is Aquarius. Aquarius is the water bearer. And so this is supposed to be the water pouring out of the water bearer's jar. So that's the sign of Aquarius. And then at the bottom in the purple, we've got the moon. That's the moon. The circle is the sun. Jupiter is this thing that looks like a 4. And then the sign is Pisces. And Pisces is symbolized by 2 fish swimming in a circle. And so these 2 half circles are the 2 fish, and then the line connects the energies of the 2 fish. Pisces is a connection and energy, so that's why that was the connecting with the energy part of the ritual. And if you want to Google this, you can certainly Google just astrological symbols, and it will all come up. But also on my website, spiritsaid.com, under the free resources tab, there's a set of keyword tables, and the keyword tables have all of these symbols in them, so to recognize them there. Okay. Any other questions? Anything else to ask about? Okay. So can you guys still hear me?
There was a comment, not a question. Let me read that. Someone said it was a great example. Thank you, Robin. Power to you.
Aww.
And someone joked that that outfit wouldn't look good on them. It was one of our male members. Well, I do like this example a lot. I love it.
Men have personal style too. It's really important. Men are allowed to like clothes and bring out their best energies by wearing their best clothes. So what I wanted to tell you guys is I'm actually starting research on an astrological analysis for your personal style. It's like how to bring out your best energies. So we're going to be looking at your astrology chart and figuring out what your best energies are, and then discussing how to bring those out in clothing and makeup and hair and you know and shoes and accessories and all that kind of stuff. And I am looking for 5 guinea pigs, 5 people who are willing to volunteer. There's no cost, except that if you like it, I would love it if you might be willing to contribute a testimonial, give me some feedback, maybe some photos of the before and after. So if you are interested in upping your personal style, or you need help with a closet clean out, or you're in one of those style ruts where you're like, I gained 5 pounds or 10 pounds or 20 pounds over COVID and now nothing fits and I don't feel attractive anymore, or I don't know what my best energies are, send me an email and I have a little application you can fill out. And if you want some help, I'm really excited to bring astrology and personal style, because as you can see, I'm a total nut for clothes and I love thrift store stuff. So if you want some help with your personal style and you're interested in meshing that with astrology, send me an email, and I'm going to be taking 5 people to go on this journey together. And my ultimate goal is to turn this into a book. So that's where we're headed, because I think the intersection of astrology and style is super cool and fun. Okay.
Okay,
Right.
so we do have some volunteers. I did put your email in chat, so hopefully they'll reach out to you. But I saw 3 hands go up already. You're almost at your 5.
Great. Yeah, I wanna get this going. I think this is gonna be fun. All right, perfect. Yeah, so you can send, so Valerie's got my information there, my email. Send me an email and we will discuss. This is only for people though who actually want to make a change in their personal style, right? But if you're up for it and you're like, I need it, then great, I would love to have you.
And I saw a hand. Erica, did you have a question or were you volunteering?
Yes, I would love to be a guinea pig, so I will send that email.
Ooh, I gotta say, Erica, that's a really fierce picture of you that you have there. That's an awesome, I love that shirt.
Thank you so much.
I was going to say that judging from that photograph, Erica's already been through this exercise.
Right?
I was gonna say, I don't think she should be changing anything, so she should not be a candidate.
Oh, I'm always up for growth, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love how you guys compliment and support each other. It's wonderful.
Yep.
Okay. Robin, did you have any other comments before I move on?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you guys for listening to my ritual.
Okay.
volunteering for my ministrations. Ha 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 ha.
All right, I am going to share just one final thing. It's the end of the month. For those of y'all that have been rocking with us for a little while, y'all know what happens at the end of the month is I put out the moon journal for the next month. So I'm just going to do a quick screen share and show you what's in store. Can y'all see that? I feel like
I'm good.
I did the wrong thing. There we go. So you're familiar with, that's just the ledger. So this is what I switch it every month. That's why I show y'all every month. So we have the calendar at a view. We have a mood tracker. We have a habit tracker. We have a week ahead. And then for each week, here's where it gets into the moon journaling. On every day, I tell you what phase the moon is in, what sign the moon is in, and the element associated with the moon, so that you can more closely track what's going on for you on a day-to-day basis. It also gives you a little place based on, like, for this week, it's the week of the new moon, and it gives you a little space to journal your intentions and what you're grateful for. As we go into another phase of the week, it just gives you a place to journal what you're grateful for. So it's a journal / moon planner. At the very end of the planner, there's space for just journaling pages. There's about 4 blank journaling pages. And this journal will be available tomorrow. There's still a portion at the beginning of the journal, which gives an overview of the entire month, which I haven't quite finished. So that will be available tomorrow. I will post it in the Tarot, Unicorns, and Coffee Facebook group when it's available. I will also come back and post a link in this event's comments when it's available as well, if you are interested in that. And the only other thing I want to mention is our upcoming event, because the wonderful and lovely Ms. Robin has an amazing event coming up. So coming up for the next week, let me get to the right calendar here. We have our every week Magical Monday Manifestations, which is a card pull done by yours truly. It's a complete card pull. We go over Tarot and Oracle. We lay out our week and get guidance for our week. That happens every Monday, 11 o'clock Central Time. We have our Wednesday morning meditation that happens at 9 a.m. Central Time. I have a new thing called Light Code Energy Session, where we do energy, where I send out energy work to the group. So if you're interested in receiving any healing energies, check that out. That's happening on Thursdays at 10:30 in the morning. And then our next astrology event is happening Saturday, March 5th at 2 p.m. Central Time. And it's the 3rd part in our 3-part series of Troubleshooting Your Natal Chart. If you weren't available for part 1 and 2, those are available on our YouTube channel on YouTube, on my channel on YouTube, part 1 and 2. And what it does is it takes your individual natal chart and it troubleshoots some areas where you might need support, or you have a placement in a hard house, then you might want support for that. So this is part 3 of that, and that's going to happen this Saturday. So if you haven't signed up, please sign up. That'll be hosted, and I'll be there, but that'll be hosted and led by Robin Poole. So I just want to thank everyone for showing up. This has been wonderful. Thank you all for lending your energies and participating. Thanks for the volunteers. I will get the winners' information out to you in the mail this week, hopefully within the next day or 2. JP, I love it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Does anyone have any questions or comments before we say goodbye?
I would like to mention that we have this one coming up, which is all about how to bring the planetary energies into your life, which does include clothes, by the way. We'll talk a little bit about clothes there. But then after that, there's one more coming, which is making astrological jewelry. The astrology jewelry workshop.
Oh, that's right. Why did I say the last one? You're right.
I don't know. It's probably because the fabulousness of astrological jewelry totally shorted out your brain.
Oh, I love it.
So I'll just hold up an example here. This is a bracelet that I made, which has to do with my astrological energies, and it's really good for getting through difficult times. So we're going to be giving a whole workshop on how to figure out what jewelry to make, and then how to actually make your own astrological jewelry. So just stay tuned for that, because I'm super excited about it. Yes. That's going to be a book too, the astrological jewelry book.
Yay! All
Yay.
right. Thank you,
Thank you
everyone.
guys for doing this. I really enjoyed it. I appreciate you all.
Oh, thank you for coming. It was a pleasure having you all. Bye. Have a great rest of your weekend.